shows my man he's getting ready. He's grabbing all the artifacts and stuff, and he knows that's Adora. Gets to meet her, and he's like, "Hey, relax." If you posted this, I laugh. He was giving older show enough.
Definitely. I mean, the whole get up, I mean, from the like
uh,
the outfit and
uh-huh.
the hair. I said, yo, like my Converse vibe. Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio. We are the MCU Collective, and we are here to talk about the MCU's latest edition of Eyes of Wakanda on Disney Plus animated series. 4 episodes total, all spoilers. Gotta
We
talk
hit
about a thing to talk about a thing.
the first thing in Phase 5 too.
Six?
The six, yeah, first thing of
Well,
Phase 6.
second thing,
Look,
Fantastic
I thought
Four.
Fantastic was the last. And
No,
okay,
that's the first thing in phase 6.
okay,
Yeah. Even though this is more of an anthology, spoilers is not. But yeah, like this series was okay. I gotta speak to the elephant in the room.
go for it.
I don't know why Disney is just dumping things right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I felt a kind of way about Ironheart when they did this to Ironheart.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, hey, we're gonna do 3 and 3. And they could have easily did 2, 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
In them last couple of episodes, they could have did 1, 1 and 1 because they were enough on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, we could have easily had just a nice little 1 week drop. Just
Mm-hmm.
the 20 minutes long episodes, 32 some of them. Like I think the last was longer. But
Mm-hmm.
they were full episodes of television. And we could have had just 1, 1 and 1. And we'd have been talking about this once a week for the next month. It's not like Disney Marvel has anything coming out with the foreseeable future
Yeah,
up until like October when we get Marvel Zombies.
yeah. Then
So
after that, it ain't nothing until Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man second
maybe,
season. Maybe,
maybe.
maybe.
Ain't no telling. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
after that is oh yeah, Wonder Man. My bad.
Yeah.
Which has me afraid because are they just gonna dump Wonder Man? I mean, I'm just saying.
Isn't that dropping like around Christmas time, and it might?
Supposedly it's gonna be winter. I'm not sure if it's holiday 25, but it's gonna be in during the winter
I
time.
think what they're gonna do with that is kind of how they did What If. I think even Hawkeye that time where they had a different episode come out every day. I think
Yeah,
they're gonna probably
yeah, they
that seems
probably
to be like their Christmas formula when it
yeah.
comes to
We're gonna do like
their
the
shows. Yeah.
12 days of Christmas type thing. But nah, yo, like I'm really I can't say upset because overall it was a very good show. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just very curious as to the thought process
Yeah.
and the reasoning behind this. And I don't want to be overly skeptical
Mm-hmm.
or cynical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really curious. They'll never let us know. They're never going to tell us, but it just looks a little suspicious. That's
They do.
that's all I'm
I
saying.
say this. It does, but on that merit, I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm just thinking about the product. It was like you said. It should have. It could have been a weekly thing. For me, it really could have just been a movie. Because it's
Like
giving
Predator.
right. Let's get that elephant out the room too. It definitely was giving Predator Kill of Killers. Animation style, similar but not quite. I will say the Disney animation style of this Rashad, I don't know if you agree, was a little more polished than the Predator Kill of Killers animation style. And a couple. Okay, so let me just talk about this. A couple of things. I think number one, this could have been a movie, anthology movie, like Predator Killer of Killers. Also, Rashad, I think the title of this could have been completely different. The title of this could have been Wakanda, the what they call them, the
War
dog
Dogs.
war dogs. It could have been called Wakanda's War Dogs or whatever. I guess they didn't want to call it war dogs because some people because they touched on it in the first movie. They really didn't touch on war dogs in the second movie. And what I'm saying, the second movie. And they kept saying this is kind of like a thing showing like the history of Wakanda. Well, actually this is just showing the history of the war dogs, how the war dogs really came to
Yeah.
be or whatever. And they probably didn't want to call it war dogs. They just probably was like, hey, let's just call it Eyes of Wakanda because they're kind of like the sleeper cell agents, of Wakanda, and they go and they assimilate to they assign them to different cultures and countries or whatever in modern day time, and they go and assimilate themselves with that, feeding back information to saying the Wakandan government or whatever. As far as what I thought of his first impressions, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. Um, the quote unquote plot twist at the in the last episode 4. Believe it or not, Rashad, first episode, I said to myself, you know what? That looks like the weapon that Eric Killmonger went to go see in the museum. I gotta
Me
figure that. I figured that out
too.
in the first episode. I said, man, that looks like the weapon from Eric Killmonger, and I
It's
was
like that
like,
looks like the pickaxe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I said it looked like the pickaxe or whatever. But then I said to stop, so I stopped it. I stopped the show. I said stop. I pulled up my phone and I opened up YouTube to Killmonger museum scene, and I looked at it. I said that's definitely before it became a thing. I said that's definitely. But then I said I need to hear something. Then where they said they found it, I was like, well, they're in Greece right now. So how is it going to end up? If that is it, how is it going to end up there? And say, because they said they got it from Benin or something, saying British soldiers found it at Benin and they took, custody of it in the British Museum. But yeah, when I first saw that thing, I said, hmm, that's the that's the little pickaxe sickle type thing
Yeah.
from. I said it looks just like it, and then come to find out, in the final episode, that yes, it's kind of, that object was kind of like, I guess you could say, an incursion point, Rashad, in the MCU
Yeah.
multiverse type
Yeah.
type thing or whatever.
Or
So you,
or like more like I was thinking that that weapon
mm-hmm,
or that artifact made a really bad butterfly effect.
yes, yes,
Because seeing how it's kind of just the person, the last Panther was from the future.
yeah, 500 years in the future.
Yeah, and she was like, "Yo, I gotta figure out
She had to
what
she had to
point did this thing go wrong?"
she had to retrace her steps. So
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and start with the first episode. Okay.
Okay.
First episode was Into
Into the
the
lion's
Lion's
den.
Den. All right. We get a we start off where we see that we are in 1260 BC. Before Christ, for you people that don't know. You know,
Definitely.
Definitely. And we are in Greece. I think off the island of Crete, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
from what you saw, whatever. And there is a young lady, you looking at her, and you like, oh, she's Wakanda. What I do also love about this as well, Rashad. Shout out to Ryan Coogler and the other writers. They are make this actually kind of factual. Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen,
Yeah, they did. They did.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, maybe like, what were black people doing in Greece? Black people were in Greece. Africans were trading with other, what I'm saying, other colonies and other cultures for years. Believe it or not, Africans made it over to the U.S. before before one old Christopher Columbus, or so say it. But anyway, so I love how factual it was with seeing black people. You saw different people. You saw Greece people. You saw people of Mediterranean descent as well, and also what would be considered the Persian. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, Persian
Hey,
descent.
hey,
Go ahead.
real quick history dump. Shout out to our boy Tony Ba,
Mm-hmm. I know he
Dr.
gonna be
Ba.
with. He's
And
gonna go
he's
with it.
he was like, "Yo, did you see I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, man." He said to see people in the first episode actually have a deep lore and real history. They were great warriors,
Mm-hmm.
shrouded, and their origin is shrouded in mystery. They're
Mm-hmm.
either from Cyprus or Crete.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ancestors of the Philistines,
Mm-hmm.
and they are also essentially the ancestors of the current day Palestinians
Yes.
because they made a
And
Pentapolis in the West Bank of
uh-huh.
Ekron, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Gaza.
And especially with the Philistines, you could tell with the beards, the how some of them had that like a wavy beard, almost like they had like a wave cap put on their beard or something like something like that as well. So you see, you know what I'm saying, African lady, she's looking, you know what I'm saying, you know, you see a black woman looking and you see and like they're in Crete and they're like, hey, everything's great. We're Greek, you know what I'm saying? We're the Greek Empire, and they see an armada coming their way. And they're like, oh my God, what is going on here? And you know, the armada comes, attacks, take hostages. I said hostages, and one of the hostages is I said, God damn, is is uh is a young lady by the name of Noni, and she's seeing that people are being taken in the room, and and I love how accurate they were as well with people that are taking over your country. Hey, it's better to deal with us than to live in poverty. You know, say, hey, we captured y'all. Y'all look at this food we got for y'all right here. Ain't nobody gonna be hungry no more. Go and get your little nosh, get your little bite right there. But you gotta come in this room and get this brand. You know, you get branded like, you know, saying like you the fraternity or something or whatever like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. They
It's,
herding cattle.
yeah, so she goes in the room and they get ready to brand, and she proceeds to beat the hell out of this guy. Then we see a flashback to 6 weeks earlier. We see the Dora Milaje. You see this one old ass Dora Milaje lady, and she brings up Noni, and she's like, "Look, girl, you was kicked out the Dora Milaje," and she was like, "Yeah, why the hell am I here, basically?" But if I got kicked out, and it's like, "Look here, yo, this guy right here," and it's crazy the technology they had from the vibranium. Even in 1260, they had like almost like a imaging type thing to pop up. This person right here, this dude right here, was a general in the Wakanda. He was a general commander in the Wakandan army. General. He trained a lot of Dormilaje. We sent a few to go get him. They never came back because they joined his cause. Or what, you know, say or whatever. You being as defiant little girl as you want to be, he don't know nothing about you. You ain't trained him. We need you to go find what's up. And she's like, girl, I ain't no daggone door. I'm not doing this. And blah blah blah. And then, she gives the whole spiel of, do it for Wakanda, type thing. And the guy took some artifacts. You need to get these artifacts back because them artifacts in the hands of these common common people is going to, what I'm saying, could be cause world problems. So Noni proceeds to cause back in the present time, Noni proceeds to call pure T hell Rashad. As we see, she is taking folk
Yeah.
out and everything. And another thing I like too with the Lion's Den, the Lion Den folk, is that you see that he has assimilated people from different cultures. You have a Viking, you have what looks to be like a Persian type warrior. It looks like you have a Polynesian Hawaiian. Am I correct?
It
Person look
could be
like some,
Pacific Islander.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pacific Islander. Maybe Samoan descent. Person, they got You see a whole bunch of people that he's converted into the saying the lion. And I laughed at you because I thought the same thing. She takes out all these people, whatever. She realized what she needs to go to. She says, of course, he's in the biggest ship. And this guy is seeing all of this going on, being like, I know the moves. I don't know who the hell this girl is, but I know the moves. My man shows my man he's getting ready. He's grabbing all the artifacts and stuff, and he knows that's Adora. Gets to meet her, and he's like, "Hey, relax." And the first thing when you posted this, I laughed. He was giving older show enough.
Definitely. I mean, the whole get up. I mean, from the outfit and
Uh-huh.
the hair. I said, yo,
Uh-huh.
Like my Converse vibes, man. I mean, I
Yeah.
said, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of now when I saw him.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like I said, he's is also he was given if you've all have seen um 300 or else 300 Rise of an Empire or whatever, he's given Xerxes as far as being a god
Yes.
emperor or whatever. Like
Yes.
these people are like he's a god and this and that. It is not that he's a god. It's just that he's using this Wakandan technology from the vibranium. Where these people are like, oh, hey, how can this guy do it? He has to be a god or whatever. And she's like, man, you got these folk food you got. And they start to go to blows and they have a little battle. And he can't figure her out because, once again, he didn't train her. She's very
Yeah.
unorthodox. And he gets the best of her. I mean, she gets the best of him. And she's like, yo, you defeated. Give me the daggone artifacts, and I'm here to turn you in to the saying to the Wakandan government. My man is like dying. He said, tis 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 little girl. I ain't going back. No. He basically pulled the Killmonger hundreds of years, but thousands of years before Killmonger pulled the kill. He says, I'd rather die at sea before I go into bondage. My man hit the little button. She says, what are you doing? He put the button on his little throne thing and had basically did like the Predator style self-destruct self-destruct thing and boom, blew up the ship. You know what I'm saying? The artifacts kind of got, went into the water, the river. She was able to get one. You see the little sickle go down, and I was like, that's it, right? That has to be it. And you see like a necklace with a medallion in it or whatever. That goes down, and she goes back to Wakanda and she gives it to the the Dora Milaje general, tell her, hey, here it is. And she's like, girl, I knew you could do this or whatever. She was like, you are welcome back into the ranks of the Dora Milaje. And she was like, she did the look, yo, you said it yourself. I'm not good at taking commands. I did this for Wakanda. And she was like, I knew. And she was like, was this a test? She was like, yeah. She says, we have other things that you could do as well. And she was like, war dog? Because this guy was talking about how he was a war dog at one point. He hated the term war dog. Like, I'm no one's dog type thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. And so not Noonie basically accepts the role to become a war dog because she's left
Noni.
off Noni. I said Noonie. God damn. I just
Yeah.
realized what I said.
Hey
Never
man,
mind.
well, like just like we messed up on Predator. We kept on calling her Nora. Name isn't
Yeah.
Nora.
Right. What is it?
Nori? I don't know. It doesn't
Nuri,
matter. They was
whatever.
pissed off. Yeah.
Oh, people were mad. Sorry,
Oh
y'all.
yeah, definitely
Whatever.
mad.
So, like I said, she survives and she goes to join. She goes off with the Dormilaje leader to become a war dog. And that's basically the first episode. Also, yo, shout out to Winnie Harlow, because she was the actress that voiced
Hmm.
Noonie, yo, for real. So, yo, shout out, what I'm saying, shout out to her for doing that. Also, Cress Williams, for those of y'all in the black community, y'all may know him. He was Scooter in Living Single, good old Queen Latifah's love interest in that show or whatnot. So yeah, man. I mean, it was, I think that was a solid
Also
episode.
Black Panther. Also on Black Lightning.
Yes, right. Black, yeah, he was Black Lightning. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a good start off for that, man.
Yeah. Legends and Lies,
Uh-huh.
I think is a really excellent episode.
Oh yeah.
Also, shout out to one of the OGs doing this. Renowned writer Mark Bernardin.
Mm-hmm.
Also on the Fat Guy and Beyond podcast with
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a writer and he wrote the next two episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was on this,
Me
let
either.
alone he wrote the whole thing. And this episode right here
Oh my God. Loved it.
interweaves real life lore and Wakanda so effortlessly with the Battle of Troy and
Mm-hmm.
the Trojan horse and
Achilles.
Achilles. Oh my God, man. Memnon was a real one. I'm just saying, like the way that he was trying his best to get the artifacts
Uh-huh.
without letting his people know. And then in the end, he was like, hey man, I ain't even trying to kill y'all. Like y'all can
Right.
leave. And then the killer's is like, oh my God, I thought
Hmm.
we was doing this for country. He was like, hey man, it's not
I
what you
am doing. I
I'm
am
doing
doing
this
this
for my
for my
country. You know what I'm
country,
saying?
for my home or whatever. So, little known fact about me, Rashad. I am a huge fan of like Greek mythology. Like I love the Greek mythology with the the Olympus gods and all that stuff like that. I when we did that in English class had to read the what I'm saying, the Iliad, and oh man, I
Yeah.
couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to do that and everything. And when they interrode this and there was like Achilles, I went, my eyebrow said, Achilles? That is Achilles, as in Achilles heel, as in Brad Pitt and Troy Achilles. This is what we doing right here. Got so excited when I saw that, and like you said, how they interwove these two stories was amazing. And also keeping, if you have read, what I'm saying, the Iliad, keeping characters close to how they were, how Achilles was kind of like a boastful, kind of hothead, but what I'm saying, Memon was able to kind of be like, hey man, be easy, chill, what I'm saying, I'm here, I got your back, down to Paris being a punk, what I'm saying, for the most part and everything. And the MacGuffin in this episode was, of course, the necklace, the jeweled necklace that was lost. And we kind of find out David Wakanda has been looking for this for 9 years. For 9 years. And like you see, they, what I'm saying, you even see Ulysses in this, Shout out to good old Nolan, our man Nolan, Christopher Nolan, get ready to come out with the Odyssey in a year.
Can't
Can't
wait.
wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait for it. So I mean, it was such a well done thing, like you said. And then and I'm watching this and I'm saying to myself, okay, they're keeping this true to the story of the Iliad. How are we going to get the Achilles heel thing? You know what I'm saying? Like because quick side note, for people who don't know, Achilles was born. He was blessed by his, a witch blessed him. She grabbed him by his heels and dipped him into a solution. And before she could fully dip him in, his mom, Achilles' mom comes in like, "What the hell are you doing?" type thing or whatever. And she's like, "Oh my God, I was making him invincible, this great warrior." And basically, he is basically indestructible, except if he gets hits at his heel because you didn't let me dip him all the way, what I'm saying, all the way in. And you see in the fight that Achilles is having with his boy from Wakanda, they're running. My man Achilles put him in a rear naked choke. He put him in like the dang old BJ Penn, Randy Couture rear naked choke. And he was about to tap. My man took that sword and sliced his Achilles tendon. And I said,
Oh my God. Again, shout out Mark Renati, y'all.
yeah,
Like,
beautiful.
so good. It's so
Beautiful.
good.
Yeah. And it's a sad story because the dude was like, yo, I'm doing this for my country, but you and me, we've been in the trenches. I know I'm a war dog and I've been a spy, but I like you, my guy. Like, but Achilles just won't have it. He felt betrayed. Like, yo, you let these people. Achilles catching him letting them people go is basically what ended their friendship.
You know who Memnon was?
Who is that?
He was one Lawrence Fishburne in Deep Cover.
Yes.
He's in
Yeah.
too deep. LL Cool J.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just was
Yeah.
he been undercover so long that he was fully entrenched in the lie. And when he
Uh,
realized he had to get out the lie, I was like, oh man, I
hey,
feel such a way.
even for more modern people, Paul Walker and
Fast and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious.
So good. I forgot about that. It's
it's a it's
very
a
true,
it's
yo.
the story. It's a story as old as time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's whoo, my God. You see, and so you see my man Minmon, he goes back to he gets the artifact, he goes back to Wakanda. And who do we see is the new like is like the director giving Nick Fury vibes. Oh, Nudie, old version of
Noni
Nudie.
over there.
Nudie got the one. She got the eye patch from the, what I'm saying, from the first episode you see. She got long flowing gray hair, and and she's so wise and everything, and she's talking to my man, and he's like, and basically she was like, she let him know like, hey yo, I know it's hard to adjust, coming back because you've been out in the field for 10 years, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like, I love Wakanda. And he says Wakanda is home. He says, but I feel like a stranger here
Yeah.
because once again, Rashad, he was what?
In too deep.
In too deep. And she says, if you want to go back out in the field, just let me know. And, I'll do what it needs to be done to take you back out in the field. He said, yes. And so my man goes back out into the field to become a war dog once again. And that's basically the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
Here we get to the third episode, Rashad. Go ahead.
Yeah, lost and found. So we got Basha
Mm-hmm.
and we got yeah, Jonah Zhao, Jirani. And I like, okay, so this episode to me
Mm-hmm.
let me know that these war dogs can really be some assholes too. Because when I mean Basha did not care at all. And the way that he got, okay,
This whole thing is, hey, I get the job done.
he said, look, man, I am literally shooting from the hip here. And what do you want? Okay. Oh, this is the essence of the means don't matter. I'm all about the results.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how I got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get it done though?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Basha he figures out that the artifact is inside of this just like
Dragon.
lion head
It's a
and it's
like
a
a dragon.
dragon
Yeah,
head,
dragon.
yes, like side of the head of a dragon that they're essentially um worshiping
And
or
by the
praying
way,
to.
this episode we are in the year like 1540, 1500, 1540 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
it,
And
like
this and yeah, we're like very
feudal
coon
yeah.
Kunlun adjacent, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
very.
Like I feel like if because the way they were, I feel like that's where the whole thing
Hima,
happens.
Himalaya type, you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
We go over there. We go to Kunlun somewhere. So like
mm-hmm.
it was interesting to see one the setup originally, him
Mm-hmm.
laid up with his Asian girl. I said, yo, young got him a baddie out of town. And then just to see at the end that he really crash landed and the lady saved his life.
Speaking of this, what you just said before you go any further, can we talk about the other elephant in the room?
What's that?
Wakanda had flying machines in 1540.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm yelling. 1540, they had aircrafts.
Not only did they have aircraft, they also had two-way communication.
Yeah, because we saw that in the previous episode. My man had like a two-way pager almost, and like talking back. They had an aircraft, and then the aircraft looked like something from callback Rashad, our childhood, something from the video game Star Fox. They're like,
Yo, that is
yo,
it was polygonal as
it
hell.
was
That is
polygonless.
funny.
It looked like something from Star.
Roger Dodger. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
funny.
it looks
Star
stuff from Star
Fox. That's so
from
good,
Star Wars.
yo.
Shout out Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 or whatever. But yeah, man, I was just like, yo, because it's the whole grand scheme of things. He wake up, he slide out the bed with old girl, and he's talking to he knows Chinese or whatever this Asian language is speaking. Most likely, I'm thinking Chinese. He's talking to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool." And he goes to like the little artifact room,
Or
and
Mandarin.
yeah, man,
I don't know. I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
he sees the little dragon thing, and he sees the vibranium like tongue. And he's like trying to get it out, and he's just like, "Well, can't be here all day."
Gotta take the
Huh?
whole thing.
Cut the head off and took the head of this thing, and you see him escaping, and I'm just like, "Yo, how is this man escaping? He's like on a mountaintop. How he gonna get out of? He hit the button to dust off the snow. I said, it's a goddamn spaceship." It's a damn, it's a fucking
Not
ship.
a spaceship.
It's a space, it's a ship, not a spaceship. But first thing I said Wakanda's off the hook. They have a they have a flying aircraft in the 1500s, and so he gets back and people were like, "Hey man, you back?" He was like, "Here you go, whatever." And it was like, "Dude, we said get the vibranium. Why did you take the whole thing?" Here's the thing: they're very mindful of other cultures as well. Like they probably worship this thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
he
He's
said,
like,
"Yo, why'd you take the head of this thing?" He said, "Man, I couldn't get the tongue out, so I had to improvise." It was like,
"Yeah."
nigga, why'd you improvising? Like nobody, the mission.
He's like, mission, mission. Hey man, I got the job done. We good in this. And they're kind of find out we ain't that good. We ain't that. Because this dude is he's giving Ebo, who's like the desk jockey by the book guy at the War Dog headquarters. He's giving him like a heart attack. Captain Ebo giving him a heart attack, and the other guy Rockham, who's the head, said, dude, he's like, hey, I appreciate you getting the job done, but hey, discretion. We got to keep this, discretion is the best. It's kind of like how, in some of these vampire movies, they be like, hey, you know how we survived all this time without being hunted down to extinction? We have been discreet about things and everything like that. And so come to find out when repairs are being done to his ship, oh, we see somebody hop out the familiar mask. And Rashad, about a week ago, 2 weeks, I think about what, 2 weeks ago when they showed like a trailer for this, and they were just showing like still shots. What's the first question I asked you, Rashad?
How's Iron Fist in this?
Exactly. I said, this Iron Fist? How's Iron Fist here? Then I said, you know what? I'm tripping. Maybe it's not. Guess what, Antonio? You was not tripping. We had good old Iron Fist. And come to find out, Iron Fist was the woman he was smashing that saved his day go that saved
Like
his life.
the worst of luck.
Worst of luck or whatever. And you see she is basically going through the War Dogs headquarters, washing
Bruh, like
washing like we ain't seen a washing like this since they probably ain't seen one like this in the future when Namor dropped the wash on Wakanda or
he
whatever,
literally washed him.
He really watched him. And man, she went into a cafeteria full of war dogs. Like, Eva was like, hey, how would you do against our best warriors? And locked them in. She mopped the floor with every last one of them. And then Ebo was talking to him, like, hey, you need to get this fixed, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, all right, bro, I got you. It's all good or whatever. You need to calm down. I said, no, you need to take things more serious. There's a plan for everything. So he fights and come to find out it's old girl. And she thinks that their country, Wakanda, is basically like almost imperialistic. So y'all just go to different countries and take artifacts like, oh well, and no man, like no,
No, no, no, no.
we are no colonizers. We are just we these things are ours. The metal here is ours. And she was like, man, whatever. And they proceed to go to blows and have a nice little fight or whatever. And I forgot how it came to a conclusion. It came to a
Yeah, so
conclusion.
so so basically they end up in the I'm gonna call it the trophy room
Mm-hmm.
where all of the the relics are.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and they're like, hey, and they get to fighting, and the head dude comes down there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a come and say, look, yo, tells him, man, all you had to do was say something, just
Yeah.
communicate, which is a very again, always a
Oh
simple
yeah.
thing. That's my
Uh-huh.
pet peeve with stuff. Like if they would just had a conversation, this could all
Yeah.
been avoided. And that's what she said, being the just the level-headed woman and him being a goofy man.
Yeah.
And so head dude comes down, shoves her in the other room. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey man, this was all a big training exercise, just to
Yeah.
see, just to, for our readiness if somebody from the outside does come in."
That was
And
him shooting from the hip being a good man.
definitely,
Uh-huh.
definitely, and then with that being said, not only did he he protected Iron Fist,
Uh-huh.
got your boy a promotion because he, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, he basically was just on doing desk duty. But then it was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, how about we make you a war dog? Actually, for real, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah, and that's what he really wanted too, for
Yeah,
real.
because he wanted to be in
Yeah.
the field.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how that story ended. Of course, because Evo he knew all the passageways and stuff throughout
Mm-hmm.
the whole entire building, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how they
Got her out.
maneuvered around with that.
Also, what was funny was how easily she was able to, she says, I take it this is yours. How easily she was able to take the vibranium metal tongue out and just gave it to him. He was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Because she was like, "Look, I just want the head, yo. This is sacred to us or whatnot." But yeah, I mean, that was another fun episode. Like I said, it was a great standalone. That was a great standalone episode with that. Let's get to the finale, Rashawn.
Bruh, the Last Panther, man. I was not expecting a time travel episode
Not at all.
because it starts off very much like the other ones. You have
Hmm.
the this trainee, which happens to be the prince, third in line,
Third in line,
and you have
Kuda.
Safari, who is what I'm saying, like the person who's the older war dog. Because
Uh-huh.
young dude's trying to get, he
No,
basically
no,
trying.
no. Tafari is the young boy.
My bad, Sophia. As far as a
Kuda,
young dude,
Kuda
Kuda
is the
is, yeah,
old,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
who the voice of Kuda is, don't you, Rashad?
Who's
One
that?
Steve Toussaint, aka our black Valerian. The C,
That's Corliss.
Corliss, yes,
Oh, I didn't even realize
that's Corliss.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, yo.
yeah, that's Corliss. Valarion, Corliss Valarion, our favorite black. There we go. Yeah, Corliss Valarion, our favorite black. Valerian, Valerian was Kuda, the old wise, what I'm saying, seasoned war dog or whatever.
Yeah,
And this episode starts out this is a coming of age episode for real. It starts off
it really is.
because Tafari is basically he's like, oh man, being a war dog is great. I love to hear the stories about and the great feats of being a war dog. Kuda's trying to tell him, listen, being a war dog, it ain't about the stories and about your glory. There's going to be a lot of things that happen where you won't be glorified for because your job is to get the job done. Our thing is to go get that vibranium pickaxe that we saw in the first one, and we need to get that to come on back. And we need to get through this war because it's a war going on at this time or whatever. And I think they're like almost like in modern day Turkey, if I'm not
Yeah, it's like the late 1800s, right?
18, yes, late 1800s. And and Tafari, his whole thing is this: look, man, I am third in line to the throne to my brother. You know what I'm saying? To my two older brothers or whatever. What am I? I'm worthless. I need to. He needs something to feel appreciated and wanted, a part of the royal family. So what does he do? Their thing is, hey, we need to take our time getting this. It's in the middle of the hot spot. You know what I'm saying? The war zone area. Let's just take our time doing it. Oh, this little fast bastard goes and gets the tag on artifact shot. And he
Quick.
like, hey, yo, you could, if you were to die, how am I gonna tell, you know what I'm saying, the king and queen that, you know what I'm saying, the kid is dead. And so then he's like, whatever. And so what do we see, Rashad? They're like on their way back to Wakanda. And they have a vehicle. They have like almost like a car type thing. I get it. There's some cars that were around maybe in the late almost 1900, maybe not.
Nah, we talking like
This is like
weird looking.
this is like 1870,
It was
1850.
1896.
Okay, 1896. This thing was very futuristic, you know what I'm
It
saying?
was far beyond. It
Yeah,
looks pretty modern for our times.
yeah, it did. Like it's something that we saw, we'd be like, "Ooh, I want that," or whatever. And he's telling Kuda's telling him like, yo, it's coming down to the end for me or whatever. And like, look, I do this for Wakanda and I do this for my family. And he's like asking for like, what are you doing this for? And he's like, glory. He says, man, it ain't all about the glory. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, uh a being or something just kind of teleports in front of them. They crash their vehicle, and the being is basically like tearing at the car to get to the artifact. Kuda starts fighting the being. Tafari's trying to help out. This and that. Kuda got like the being in a chokehold, and then like they start speaking. The being starts speaking Wakanda. It's a woman's voice, and they're like, "Yo, this person's Wakanda," and they talking, and they stop. And the
Yeah.
person he basically explains, "Look here, yo, I am the queen of Wakanda, 500 years into the future. I am the last Black Panther." And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, let me show you." And Rashad, how crazy was that? Just put her hand on her head. It gave them visions. They're like, "What the hell is this?" It was like, "This is current day. This is Wakanda 500 years." They're like, "Hey, yo, no!" And you see even the Panther mountain statue like toppled
Yeah, yeah,
over.
Baskers is yeah,
Baskets, yeah.
it's a hot mess in the real
It's
world.
looking real Terminator, you know what I'm saying? The machines took over type thing. And she explains to them that these aliens came down, and because the world was not really fully united. And then like Wakanda has always been in our, we've been in our hey, ain't our monkey, ain't our circus. We, you know what I'm saying? We
Yo.
we ain't in it. We ain't
Hey,
our name Bennett, and we ain't in it type thing.
at
And when the
all.
worst of the world went to hell, Wakanda was left standing, and they were just saying like, "Yo, if we would have basically been able to help the world, this wouldn't happen." And long story short, she says we have a machine that we normally do just to show history lessons. We reformatted that to go back to be like, all right, what was the point where everything went to hell? And they basically retrace their steps, and it gets to this point right here where Tafari has taken the pickaxe, and she was like, "Y'all have to put it back because what happens is it will set off a chain of events where there's a young man who will go to a museum, and he will try to usurp the throne, and the Black Panther will prevail. And the real Black Panther will prevail, and we will, make ourselves known to the world, and and basically join the MCU version of NATO or the World Council, and we be prepared for this. It will change my future and everything." And they are like, "Man, you done put some demon visions." Like they're not believing. Like, come on, please. Kuda definitely ain't believing it. And it's just like, "Look, we don't have time for this. We gotta do this." And the time runs out, and she gets sucked back into the future. And she's like, "Oh my God." Jafar is sitting there because the one thing he says, Kuda says, "Say something that only we would know." Because he was like, "Yeah, the queen is the queen is pregnant with the fourth child. A
Yeah.
girl is gonna be here." And Tafari, when she said, Tafari was like, "Oh," like that. And so when she went back to the future, got sucked back into the future, Kuda's like, "That crazy person, this or that." Tafari was like, yeah, no, we need to go ahead and do this." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "There's a secret I got to tell you that's only known to the royal family right now. The queen mother is actually pregnant with a child, and it's a girl." And you're like, "Huh?" He's like, "You're the only person outside the royal family that knows this. I believe her. We got to do this for Wakanda for the future." Kuda was like, "Man, but we got to go back into the thick of it." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Hey, we got to do this to save the future." So you see them set off on their adventure to do that. In the future, what do we see? We see future Black, you know what I'm saying? We see the last Black Panther, and she's like, "Hey, I hope I made it through," talking to Dora Milaje that left. And then what happened? The aliens find where they are, and a battle ensues. And their whole thing is they're trying to stop the aliens from going into the time jump, because they told her if she does another time jump, it's a good chance she's gonna die. They said she should have died already, but the other time she did it, but because she took the heart shaped herb, it's kept her alive. But it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you do this one more time, then you gone, sister." So she's trying her best. They're trying to stop these aliens from jumping into that time period to actually take over the earth even sooner. So it becomes a whole, a race to put things back in order. And what and Tafari finally does, he gets back to the mansion he stole it from, puts the pickaxe inside the grandfather clock that was hidden, saves it. In the meantime, Kuda did get kind of injured, helped out Kuda and everything. The one thing that did kind of make me be like, "Oh, I wish I could have seen it." You see her trying to hold off the aliens from pushing into the thing, and all of a sudden a bright white light flashes and it goes away. So you don't see, you know what I'm saying? I wish we could have seen like her be like, oh my God, it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
And basically, this basically shows and ties into the final scene of the episode of seeing one, in the Jaka, uh, Eric Killmonger, aka Michael B. Jordan, in the museum in London, staring at that artifact, and it fades to black.
Yeah. So like that for me is like, man, that's how you like I said on threads, I was like, this is my favorite type of retconning.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my favorite type of, again, retroactive continuity
Mm-hmm.
because this is something that happens on the timeline that we didn't know occurred, but we're going back to filling some blanks and it's still consistent with what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like something that Star Wars does all the time to, varying effects. But
Yeah.
not, but like this for me, man, like it was really cool just to see, what I'm saying, the K- Killmonger
Mm-hmm.
just,
You know,
plotting.
you know who else we saw a cameo of in
Who
this
that?
episode?
Who that?
One Uatu.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I love how all of these Marvel animateds, you see they there is a scene or a quick peek of Uatu that you do see somewhere. We saw it in X-Men. I think we saw it in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
I believe we saw it there, and now you see it in this. Uatu is always watching. The Watchers are always watching, and I just really I appreciate that. But yeah, man, like you said, Rashad, this is a great way of doing something that calls back to the original content of, what I'm saying, what we have in this, what I'm saying, in this Black Panther Wakandan, I won't say universe, MCU, but in the lore of Wakandan
Yeah,
Black Panther, man.
yeah. Like my thing is this, and it's kind of sad for me. Like I was thinking about it. The animated side of the MCU, like we gotta get into it, yo.
Yeah.
There's so many stories that can be told that really won't even affect, don't even have to connect with the main timeline.
Mm-hmm.
That we can just like we can really just have a fun time just exploring this stuff.
The MCU really, 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 Kevin Feige needs to take a step and do what DC did for years, what kept them alive with their animated movies and stuff like that. Because let me tell you something, it might be maybe one or two of those animated movies that you would kind of was like, but mostly all of them were top notch.
No, they had like a good 10-year run of bangers.
I mean, yeah. Stuff that you wanted to see because you knew the comic of it or whatever, and stuff you didn't even think you wanted, the stuff you thought you didn't think you want to see or whatever, like All Star Superman. I was like trying to see this, he was like, God dang, this is actually, pretty good. Of course, probably my favorite one is probably the Red Hood, because good. I mean, emotional roller coaster with, what I'm saying, watching that. And I think MCU could, like you said, could really benefit from doing like little side stories that may or may not even connect to the grand scale of the MCU or whatever.
Yeah, or they could just easily connect to like the first phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the Infinity War phase. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be like the current time. I mean, they can really there's so much that they can like pick and choose from that it's
Mm-hmm.
really ridiculous because they
Mm-hmm.
made this huge universe
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of side quests that they can go on to just fill out lore for the people who want to see it.
Imagine if they did an animated version of what caused Thanos to become the Mad Titan, like seeing him grow up and everything, and seeing what
Like
happened
that's
to
the type
him.
of stuff that we like that would be dope.
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
like, or even something as simple as, you know what I'm saying? Like we wanted to know, like the have an animated series for the Black Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
So there's a bunch of this again, there's so many ideas
hmm
that they can use. Again, get great writers and get great artistry and switch up the cartoon style. I mean, there's the animation style. There's a bunch of ways to to get this done, man. Like I
yeah.
don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being wishful right now.
I know, man. It's all good. So yeah, man. I mean, that's that, man. Eyes of Wakanda, very solid showing. If I had to give it a grade, I'd say maybe what would you give it, Rashad?
Out of 10,
Out of 10, yeah.
hmm, strong 8. I give it
Yeah.
a strong 8.
Same here. I was thinking 8. Strong
Strong
8.
8.
A
Yeah.
strong 8 out of it or whatever. So, like I
Nah,
said, good.
it was really fun. Very unexpected,
Hmm.
good time. I'm here for anything black. That
Yeah.
being said, we will be back. Do you know what series is next, Tony? I think you
What,
may have forgotten.
what is that, Rashad?
That is one Alien Earth on FX. That starts, I think, on the 13th, if I believe. Let me check.
I really did forget.
Alien Earth. Yeah, that starts on so- yeah, Alien Earth starts on August. Yeah, August the 12th at 8 p.m.
That's wild.
Yeah, so next, I'm definitely gonna watch that,
Yeah.
and we'll be back to review that on the 13th, if all things considered,
Yeah.
unless something crazy don't go on in the world. But yeah, Alien Earth next week.
Yes. Quick thing, was there anything that you watched that we haven't really covered or anything like that?
Nah, man, I just been going back and watching on anime. Like we said offline, I rewatched the entire Demon Slayer.
Hmm.
Just to get my mind right
Yeah.
for the Infinity Castle movie coming out in September. And I went back and started watching Jujutsu Kaisen again.
Okay.
But yeah, other than
Uh,
that, I just been working.
yeah, for me, of course, working, but also I watched the final season of The Sandman. They dropped the second series. Very good showing. Very, very, very good stuff. Nice little twist at the end of that, and then the final episode was kind of like a one-off specialty episode, which
Oh
was
wow.
yeah, one-off specialty episode, which is really good with that. Also, no thanks to Rashad, I've been watching Demon Slayer. He never told me anything about this show. I don't understand why. Whatever, I had to find this out on my own. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm lying, y'all. Rashad has been on my neck for the last year and a half or so to watch, and I just finished watching the first and second season of show, and I'm just gonna say this, and I'll reserve comments when we do our Demon Slayer season one what I'm saying, review, recap, or what have you. But yeah, man, that's all I have for you right now. Of
Yeah,
course,
that's all I
ladies.
got too, man. Like I said, we'll be back reviewing, getting ready for me to be scared out of my life
Mm-hmm.
again for
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
Until the next time, man.